Young Music exclusive.
I grew up like a savage.
So what's the issue?
Well, you know what I think it is Sim, like your maturity and your intelligence make you see that vision anyway. It's what has you well-rounded as a person. It's what has you well-rounded as a hip-hop fan, right?
Yeah.
It's how you become not just a fan, but a super fan of Jay-Z.
Yeah.
To where you can, like, there's cadences and pockets at time when you rap that I can go right to a song.
Yeah.
I mean, I can literally go to a Jay-Z song.
Yeah.
I can go to a Jadakiss song.
Yeah.
I can go to these songs and I can fit your bars
In
right
that,
in there.
yeah.
Because that's what your influences
Yeah.
are, right? But even in an instance like people that have seen things and have gone around, because Kanye made similar comments, right?
Yeah.
So we all give it up to you, right? We all so proud. Well, not all, but a lot of us are
Yeah.
so proud,
Yeah.
right? We like, that's ours. That's
Yeah,
our own,
for
right?
sure.
And so Kanye had some comments on Dame page, and it all goes back to this Oakland shit.
It's geographical.
But what I want to clear up about this Oakland shit is Oakland has always been the epicenter of culture, right? From
Of everything.
because of the blackness,
Facts.
right? And everybody who lives in the cities off farther, or that's not San Francisco, Berkeley, and Richmond, they came from those cities.
Bro, I remember being in Antioch, bro, going to Deer Valley, and I remember everybody used to say they was from 98th and Brookfield,
Yeah.
right? And I used to be like, how the fuck all these people from 98th and Brookfield, none of y'all know each other,
Right.
But over time, what I started realizing was it was cool to claim Oakland. It's cool to claim certain blocks. Me personally, I never identified as a street nigga.
Right.
I always been a real just
But your
cool
granny
nigga.
house in Berkeley.
Yeah, I always been a real cool nigga my whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My granny, where I grew up in Berkeley. My uncle's Oakland, right? Which is literally on the border. Where I grew up is literally 62nd and King Street. It's on the
Right.
border of Berkeley and North Oakland.
Right.
Right there. It's literally a fucking sign that say "Welcome to Oakland" that separates the two.
Now, this is what I got to stop you on, because to me, it's the opposite of what they think.
Yeah,
What you do to me makes you a real nigga.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's no reason for you not to say you not from Berkeley and Oakland.
Yeah.
Literally, there's
Yeah.
no reason, because when you move to these places, you never stop going to where you
Bro,
always been.
I lived in Oakland, bro, the same amount of time I lived in Berkeley, and I lived in Antioch longer than both of them.
Right. And so that's where I think that makes you a real nigga, because you said, okay, well, if I start doing shit on my own in Antioch,
Yeah.
like moving around, driving cars, fucking bitches,
Yeah.
doing it, I'm from here now.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at,
Yeah.
right? So what's the difference between you and Too Short? He was like a lot more involved where he was at in LA than you was in these places, but
sure.
no one questions that, right?
For sure.
Because we live in a different time.
For sure.
Everybody got to watch your success on the internet.
For sure.
So, you know, when Dame says something like, you know, I'm rooting for the home team, I look at it like he looks at it.
For sure.
When we look at New York, most people here ain't looking at boroughs,
For sure.
Bronx, Brooklyn. They looking at New York.
For sure.
That's what we basically have is boroughs,
For
right?
sure.
And so I look at that shit as, when people say that shit, it's like, well, first of all, I'm gonna say this as an Oakland native. Oakland ain't winning in music right now. Even in the Bay.
Man.
Even in Northern California. If I'm going out on the limb and saying this, blame me for what you want to
Bro,
blame me for.
let's
But
just tell the
Oakland's not even
truth.
winning right now.
Let's just tell the truth, bro. Let's go to Rap Life playlist on Apple Music. Let's go to Rap Caviar on Spotify. Where do you see anybody from the Bay Area? Like, let's look at this thing as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So if we just step out of our small circumference and our comfort zone for a minute and let's look at this shit as a whole, bro. It's like, why we ain't on certain playlists?
Right.
Why we ain't on certain television shows? Why we ain't in certain rotations? And it's because of this mentality of only one motherfucker could be the
Are we ancient sonically too though?
ancient as fuck.
Sonically.
Ancient as fuck.
We sonically
Ancient.
as far as music, we out the loop.
Ancient as fuck. And that's why LA, when everybody say LA take our sound and they capitalize, no, they commercialize it and they make it more acceptable for the masses. We be so concerned about right here that where the shit is hard to translate. It's tough to translate.
D-Lo started the ratchet movement for LA, practically, because it wasn't
They go to God over there. You see him? Come on.
Shout out Gazi.
Come on. He over there. What's
Yes,
that
sir.
of it, dog?
So it's like if D-Lo does his sound,
Yeah.
LA takes it to another level,
Yeah.
creates the ratchet movement,
Yeah.
right? But we don't have enough cohesiveness to develop all of this stuff.
I wouldn't just say cohesiveness. It's a amount of platforming, right? So it's like we gotta have platforms for our music to live on. So we go to Atlanta, right? You got black-owned hookah spots. You got black-owned restaurants. You got black-owned clubs to where the radio sounds like the club. The club and the radio sounds like the restaurants and the hookah spots. The problem is out here, how many black-owned restaurants do we have to actually go get some cool food, chill, you know what I'm saying, play music? How many hookah spots is it? How many clubs is it? So we got a limited amount of platforming for our music. So when our music does cut through culturally, right, it's only so many places we could actually go to continue to make money.
Very true.
That's why I think when we open everything from a broader perspective, right? As far as a Symba, as far as a La Russell, as far as a Rex Life, as far as a Larry June, a Lil Caleb, when all these things work coherently together, now I think Larry June just he got his own juice bar.
Yes.
Right?
Got a boba tea spot.
That's a place that black music could play. You know what I mean? We gotta get our own hookah spots, our own restaurants, our own studios, our own things to where music, Bay Area music, could live as a whole.
Does that put us in a box too because we not very black here? So
Yeah, we got a limited amount of black people.
So does that control the sound?
I don't think it controls the sound. I think the people that create the sound has a limited amount of information and a limited amount of access, so they only see so much. So if they seen everything that's going on around think about all the people that's popping in the streets of California that never been to Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Ain't had a conversation with the
That's
niggas
crazy.
over there.
Yeah, that's why.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's a disconnect.
absolutely.
Because you could be popping from Oakland and in the hoods of San Francisco, but the motherfuckers that's making the billions over there, that's controlling the algorithm of how the music is, you don't even know nobody over there.
Something that's crazy while we speaking of this is that the people in the Bay who's usually in control as far as influence and in charge of the culture, they don't move from those spots very
I agree
often.
with that too.
So they're in these spots for 30 and 40 years, right?
But Rav, think about it. That's everywhere.
Yeah.
Funk Flex been killing it in New York for years.
Greg Street been in Atlanta forever. Like
that's everywhere.
But I think they don't adapt to us.
I think the problem with our OGs that be in position, they not so acceptable of what the next thing is.
True.
I think in Atlanta, I think on the East Coast, they go dig into what's going on and they more acceptant to what's going on and they're able to support it. I think over here, our OGs feel like because it's a limited amount of black people and a limited amount of access, they money comes off their influence. And if they built the influence based off some past shit, how do they continue to prosper with what's new?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's hard for them to cut through. But I think the problem becomes we don't have enough innovative conversations on what that looks like moving forward.
Yeah.
One person just stand on what they believe in and then the artist be saying, you don't support me. When in all actuality, a conversation could change all that shit.
A bar you had that reminds me of that is when Kennard told me I need a feature from Kafani.
If I won't support.
If I won't support.
He wasn't wrong. That was just his opinion. His problem was I saw further than what he envisioned. I knew where I was gonna go. I knew one day I'm gonna work with Dre. I know for a fact, bro. One day I'm gonna own my own city. I'm gonna own my own city. I'm gonna have my own farms with my family, my own grocery stores, my own car dealerships.
Why is
everything.
that far fetched too when our ancestors did it?
I don't think it's far
That's
fetched.
what I'm saying. That's not even like
Yeah.
when you telling me that it's regular.
Yeah, I don't think it's far fetched.
Fee, you gotta look that up too. Maybe you gotta shoot a video. It's a black city. They made it a like
It's a
museum
few of 'em.
in California though.
Yeah, it's a few of them.
That's crazy.
It's
Like,
a few
fuck
of 'em.
me up. I was like, man, he had a black city in California.
Yeah, it's a few of them. But like that's really a goal of mine. It's been a goal of mine. So for me, things don't be far fetched. For me, it just be about is you gonna put the work in to get it done. You know what I mean? And I think some people don't know the actual steps it take or what the work that actually goes into getting something done takes to get some shit done. You know, so it fucks
when
up.
you say you knew you was gonna work with Dr. Dre, right?
Yeah,
Talking about Dr. Dre is let's give Keon some credit.
for sure.
That's his nephew, right?
For sure. It's my dog. Shout out to Keon.
I want to talk about something nobody don't know.
Okay. Come on.
There's a song with Game and Kanye.
Yeah.
My life was never easy.
Yeah.
It's a rumor in the industry
Yeah.
that Symba
Yeah.
that Symba laid the foundation for that house.
Nah, not the foundation. Game has like these extravagant ass studio sessions.
Okay.
So everybody be in there lending ideas and doing different things. The homie Big Duke actually made that beat. Duke had played the beat. I think I heard the beat while Duke was making it. And I was like, bro, this shit gonna be crazy.
Okay.
Right? We was all just in there talking, having fun and shit or whatever. We was just inspired all by each other. Game went in there, started going crazy, started doing some shit. I believe Chilla, which is another one of the homies, Chilla ended up saying some shit or whatever, boom. I walked up out of there. I came back in the studio and I heard a fucking sample. He was once a thug, my life was never easy.
Yeah.
I was like, bruh, this shit gonna be crazy.
Mm.
I was like, this shit gonna be crazy. I literally left. I came back like a day or two later, and I heard Game verse on there. Game was on there going crazy. Ye was coming in and out of the studio at the time. This is like top of January, February of 2022. This when Ye was like about to do Donda 2 and like
Okay.
running around, just, you know what I'm saying, going
Just
crazy.
Black Boot Ye.
Yeah, exactly. Black Boot, yeah. And the studio was just turned up, right? But I won't say that like I provided nothing with the song. I will say I turned the studio up that night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
You know, where it was
right,
a vibe and
right.
everybody was in the vibe and
Yeah.
shit. But it's other songs that like me and Yaden done. That's on Donda that we worked on. It's a bunch of songs I didn't contributed to it and been a part of that people may not know, you know. But I don't never really like taking credit for shit because it be
Yeah.
like shit happens. It's people that come in the studio and say certain things to me and that just spark a song up. Like Young Junior is how the Roddy Rich record happened.
Right, right.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Me and Junior talking, and I'm like, bro, what you think it is? He like, bro, one thing I fuck with you about is you could be around rich people, you could be around broke people, but you always be the same,
Right.
right? I sent him a beat, and he was saying it. He was like, I could be with rich people, I could be with broke people, still gonna be the same. I can have rich friends, I can have broke friends,
That's cold.
still gonna be the same. And I was like, damn. I was like, that's kind of hard.
That's cold.
Right? I took it and reworded it. I could be a rich nigga. I can be a broke nigga. Still gonna be the same. I can have rich friends. I can have broke friends. So I feel like anytime you're in a studio, like the creative process is the most important. The people that's in the room with you, because somebody might say something or do something that might spark the $1 million idea or do certain
Absolutely.
things. So I'm very like collaborative when it comes to being in the studio, for sure.
stay all blue.
Stay all blue.
I'm just trying to stay racked up like you.
Put an 8 in a 1 and do magic. Tryna stretch hair on like elastic. Eco-friendly drug dealer, I don't waste no plastic. Use all 4 corners of that baggie. All I ever wanted was a bankroll. So I pull up on Champ before the bank close. Say no to stank hoes and stank clothes. No paramedic pimpin', nigga, we don't save hoes.